Hello, my name is Sandcrawler and we are playing more Feed the Beast. So, I've done a couple things on here since the last video. This is actually being recorded before you guys have seen the next one. So, hopefully I'll get these out pretty quick here. So we're going to go in here. This is a new quick travel hub that I set up. Until you have, like Zaphian's Place and YPZ's, Tumul's, Witch King, Winthorpe, and then mine. And I saw someone has this Tradomad in here. Rocky Princess for 32 UU matter. I've never used the Tradomad, so I kind of want to try it out. And so I was looking in my storage and I have like 132 of these. So we're gonna see if we can buy it all out. So, well, I could use my wireless thing. I forgot about it. So yeah, 137 princesses. I'm not doing bees yet, so I don't really need these. I don't need the UU matter either, but so yeah, we'll just stick these in until it won't give me any more UU matter. Oops. Clicked the wrong thing. What does that say? 0 right there? Already I can tell. I don't know if it's supposed to have the text that looks like that or what. This thing you just right click and it'll open up this interface and then you use it just like you would normally, but you have to be within range. So we'll just take, I'm thinking it might have been out, but yep, it'd be out. Or we'll just go ahead and do it. Oh, huh. I changed them all to princess. That's very interesting. I think this is either Lewis or Tumul's. So yeah, I'm not sure why that is, if that's a bug with them, because I assume they probably all have the same ID. Yeah, which means they're sticking the Rocky Princess part in damage. Probably. Something like that. So you can put these guys back. That did get me thinking though. I would like to set up a trade station. But I'd like to go a little bit farther than that. And I need to finish this. I'd like to go a little bit farther than that, and I want to build another platform in there. Or another... I want to build a spot. A spot for us to have a bunch of... a bunch of trade-o-mats. Or whatever people want to use for a shop. So I think we're gonna go... Now remember, this is actually about that dark. So you can't really see in here. Which is too bad because it looks really cool. So, you know, it almost doesn't matter where I go. But I can see, so I want to make it somewhere that I like. And I thought about either coming back here, but I think this is too big of a place. Or building like a little platform, you know, down and kind of like right in here, which is what I think we're going to do. Grab those fences back. And I don't know why I took that one out, it just seemed like a good idea at the time. Turn on our flight mode. I should have brought some of that dirt that I had. It'd actually be faster to just do it this way. So yeah, I'm going to kind of do a circular platform here. And then we'll see about putting some glass or something into it. I don't remember. Okay, that one's 8 wide, so we'll see if we hit any, if we hit the side of it or what. We'll also see if I can do it the same way, which is probably not. Every side will be different. we'll know right here if it meets up. Then that means I did it right. Which it does meet up, so. So yeah, that'll be like the outside of it. And then let's do like a plus sign or something, I don't know. Although it's not very symmetrical right here. Oh, we'll just go with it. Or I'll end up fixing it. Sometimes it's easier to see what you did if you take out all the blocks, all the extra blocks. So it's missing that, but I'm not sure if I made this too long. No, it's 8. It's not missing any over here. Oh, it is right here. Okay, well, yeah, we'll just leave it, I think. So I'm not really sure. Suppose it's probably just need to move it all down one. So it'll be one wider. Yeah, I think that did it. Then we'll do the same thing over here. So we'll go into. Then it'll make like this plus sign out of glass. So the whole idea behind doing my storage room is that I can ensure that I always have enough materials to just build, you know, without having to go gather resources. In other words, I'll be building a lot more on here. Because now that I basically have it set up to where all the basic items, I'll have 20,000 of them, or anything that I can farm, really. And then I have more power than I could ever use from both Buildcraft and industrial craft power. So the reactors, it'll be done by the time I record the second part of this video. We'll take a look at it then. That's gonna be like all the automation. That's what I'm calling it, is the reactor. So it's where all the power comes from. All the wheat farms and stuff are in it. Wool farm. But it's all set up to where it needs very little to no interaction from me. So it just keeps so many of, like for steel, it keeps 512 steel in my storage system. Okay, so let's take a look. Oops. And then I push that one again. I think that'll look pretty cool. Okay, let me go gather up some materials and then I'll cut back in. Okay, welcome back. I know I said I was gonna get stuff to build this, but I built it already. So the project has kind of grown bigger than I originally planned. So I'll have to work on this some more in another video or off camera some. That's the plan anyways. I want to put in an elevator here that'll go up to the surface. And then I think I'm going to make the whole thing look like a tree using these spruce wood panel strips, I believe. Yeah. But that's enough on that for this video, so we're going to go back to here. If I sound different, it's because I changed microphones. I'm using my headset right now because I don't have enough USB ports to plug in my snowball. It's a good headset though, so I don't think the audio quality is that bad. We're gonna be working on this nuclear reactor here. I want to change it because right now I have it using the quad uranium cells. So, if you guys don't know, let me spell uranium right. So you got these quad uranium cells, and they take dense copper plates to make. And then you have the dual that take a dense copper plate, and a dense copper plate is 8 copper. So, and those are used up when the cell is burned out. So I had 7 of them in here, and I was just using all of the copper as fast as I could get it. So I wanted to switch to a design that uses just the uranium cells here, which let's see if we can find the real recipe in here. Okay, yeah, you do have to use the canning machine now, that's right. But yeah, so it makes I have a bunch of them because right up here I have a canning machine and it gets fed the compressed uranium cells on this side, or the refined uranium, which is just uranium ran through a compressor. Yeah, that didn't show us any. This will show it maybe. So yeah, you just run the uranium ore through a compressor and it gives you the refined uranium. And then I have that going into a canning machine, which will just spit out the uranium cell, and then it's imported back into the ME system. And so down here, then I had it set up to where it would automatically craft the quad uranium cells, and it would stick them in these slots, and then it would just run as long as the heat didn't go above 100, which it never will. And I believe I had a uranium cell minimum, and then if there's a bunch of UU matter, it shuts it off, because all this is doing, all it's really doing is running these mass fabricators. So, because they'll shut off if they get to 50,000, and then the power just doesn't go anywhere. So I looked around online and I found a design for a reactor. So I have it pulled up on the side of my screen. I'll tell you, it was made by Requila. I can't say it. I'll try and paste it. Try and remember to paste it in the link in the description. But we're just gonna grab a bunch of this stuff so we have a little bit of space. So this is what they call a zero running cost. The one that we're gonna make now. Because you don't use any copper to run it. I'm hoping I have all the stuff where I have it all in there to make it, but I probably don't, so. I didn't go over. I gotta move all of these over one more. So I think there's one component that I don't have, and I'm not even sure what it's called. Okay, so it's a component heat something or another. This guy. Okay, I should be able to manage this. Let's actually just see if we can do it from down here. In the meantime, I want to see if I can get rid of some of these from my inventory. So I am filling, there's normally a hole right here and a hole here, but because of how I'm gonna put items into it, I need all of the slots to be filled, and you can fill it with the component heat vent and it won't mess it up. I guess I have a heat exchanger. I clicked it in my inventory. There is one other that I'll need too. I think it's probably just the normal heat vent or heat exchanger. Yeah. Let's see. Because I know I put a bunch of these in here, so I didn't know if I put... I don't think so. Okay. So yeah, when you look at the schematic for what I'm following, there's going to be holes, several holes, just from where you don't really need a component, but I put it there anyways. I have a lot more of these heat vents than I need. Okay, that's all of them. Well, except for the ones. Let me make sure they're heat vents. Yeah, heat exchangers. So this is all of the overclocked heat vents that I need. And then I need a couple heat exchangers. So we're gonna shove these in here. And then we'll see if it made our copper plate. For some reason I keep getting two different types of copper. Well, and it could be that the compressor is plugged with something else. I still got a couple kinks in the system here. So let's see if there's like a nugget or something. Huh. Does it not like this copper? That's nice. As I think I converted it all to this copper. This is Forge Lexicon. You can use it to change from one type of copper to another, and you can lose items in the process by shift clicking. Because I used to have 2 stacks of copper. So for now, let's just stick these in here. Well, I thought that would work. Huh. Okay, let me cut here and I'll take a break and figure it out. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, it must be a new recipe. Thanks to Greg. Yeah, let's take a look here. So you need to compress a copper plate, which you make in a plate bending machine. So let's see what a plate bending machine is. Okay, I think I can manage this. I'm gonna go ahead and make it, and then I'll cut back. Okay, I have the plate bending machine set up, kind of. We're gonna finish setting it up here on video. I had it make me a copper plate, a couple of them, and then we need to encode a blank pattern. And before we do that, we need to grab a thing of copper here. And then we go to this block here, which is the ME pattern encoder. We're gonna put the copper ingot in there, and then the copper plate there, and then our blank pattern. And hit encode, and it'll say it'll craft one copper plate with one copper ingot. And now we need to go down into the reactor and set it into the, there's an interface. So I put it right here next to the canning machine. And then we take this assembled pattern right here for our thing, and we tell it to put it into this machine. Hopefully it can take input from the top. I didn't test that. Now if we look in here and we go to craftables, we can craft a copper plate. And then I kind of saw it right there go by. And if we look, we should have nine of them, because I have the one here, so we have 10 total. Now, up here, I have a hopper on this one, which I may have to do over there. We're looking for the one to make a dense copper plate. So we gotta change that one to use a copper plate, 8 copper plates instead of 8 copper. So, we're gonna grab these guys back. Don't think I'll need that. Then we use this machine, and when you're editing one, it's a little bit different because it will already have what it was programmed to do in there. So then you just click that, and it doesn't take any of the resources, it just makes like a ghost copy of it. So then we hit encode, and it'll craft one dense copper plate with 8 copper plates. And now if we go shove this in there, and we tell it to craft a dense copper plate, it's gonna do it. Yeah, that's the wrong floor. So that gives you an idea of how this whole place works. It's all pretty similar. So now just to prove the point, and tell it to craft, I don't know. We'll just go for 10. Then we'll throw those back in there. And we'll steal that copper back out, because that'll plug up the whole thing. And so now it's going to wait until it gets 8, and then it'll compress it again. Then if we come over here, this guy's going. So yeah, it gets a little bit slowed down from using this because it'll only do one at a time. Whereas like this one, I mean this just automatically does all of my uranium into uranium cells. So I can't imagine needing them for anything else. So now we can get back to this, which I don't even remember what we needed anymore. A heat vent of some kind. It was this guy, the heat exchanger. Okay. So I think that I have circuit. Yeah, I have them both in here. So I'll just go ahead and have it make 10 of those. Now to get rubber, something I hadn't really thought about, but I'm taking slime balls and I can turn them into rubber. I mean, I recall seeing that recipe, but until you have all the slime you want, which I do now that they're in here, it doesn't do much good to extract rubber from slime balls. I came up here because it's nicer to use this crafting table here sometimes. Let me pull up, okay. Okay, I think I need 3 of those, so we'll get our dense copper plates, which you can see are mostly made. I think didn't I want one more? I don't remember. And then we need our circuit. And then I want to say I need one of these. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so we'll run these down there. And then I think I'll have to make some more component heat vents. But I have those loaded up into the machine, so it should make those pretty easy. So one goes there, and then there, one here, and this heat exchanger goes there, and I need one more. So I'm just gonna see if I can't remember how I did it. Oops. This tool has multiple settings, and they added a new weapon that knocks you back called a railgun. It knocks you back, but it'll kill almost everything, so. Okay, so I think that's all of those that I needed. Then I'll just make a couple more. We'll just tell it 5. Although I only needed 2 more. But we will need some more for when we set up a breeder reactor, which will take the uranium, the drained uranium cells, or near depleted, and it'll turn them into something I can use again. So let me just do a quick little check here. I think this is alright. And then a bunch of uranium cells go in here, which we're gonna do right over here. Nope, not on that one. Right here, maybe. Yep. Okay, well, this setting doesn't really matter. We'll just do it like that. And then I don't think I ever really had a signal going to it. So yeah, there you can see it fill up. And then I just need my component wire right back here. The red alloy. And then it'll turn the reactor on. Yeah, I think this will be okay. If not, that's why it's in warded glass. Which I guess I still had on me. Okay, get that away from me. Sorry, I'm lagging a bit. Okay, so I think that's gonna be it for this video. I thought about setting up the reactor breeder, but I'm still not confident on that one, because you have to run it at a higher temperature, which scares me a little bit. So, we'll do that in another video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.